Children's seemingly innocent or slightly troublesome actions often conceal signs of love and growth. However, in our busy daily lives, we might sometimes overlook them. This time, we'll shine a light on 6 common childhood behaviors, explaining the underlying emotions and developmental cues hidden within them. We'll offer gentle tips based on psychology and brain research, aiming to make you a slightly more understanding parent. Watching this video will help you grasp what children feel and how they perceive the world. It should make daily parenting a bit easier and more enjoyable. Please watch until the end, reflecting on your child's everyday words and actions, to receive insights that can deepen your parent-child bond. Let's start right away. When it's too quiet, they're up to something. When children suddenly become quiet, you probably get a gut feeling that something's off, right? And when you peek, you might find tissues scattered like snow or a new art piece on the wall. But actually, this isn't just naughtiness. For a child, mischief is like a burst of curiosity. What happens if I do this? How does water move when I spill it? Scattering tissues allows them to explore sensations. Light, fluffy, seemingly endless. They're experiencing how the world works, testing each sensation individually. They're like little scientists. In psychology, this is called sensory play, a crucial developmental process where children use their 5 senses to understand the world. Especially for children up to about 3 years old, theory of mind, the ability to consider things from another person's perspective, is still developing. This means their capacity to understand how others feel, or what they might think if an action is taken, is not yet mature. So the idea of mommy will be bothered, so I should stop simply hasn't developed in their minds. That's why most mischief isn't malicious. They're simply engrossed. Seeing them burying themselves in fluffy tissues, playing bath time in a puddle, or creating artworks on the wall can certainly make you sigh sometimes. But instead of getting angry, try asking, "Why did you do that?" You might be surprised by the sweet reasons they give. Beneath the mischief lies a small adventurous spirit, eager to explore this world. Around 4 to 5 years old, children gradually begin to distinguish between right and wrong. Therefore, instead of parents or adults reacting emotionally and lashing out in anger, it's more effective to explain how to use things without attacking the action itself. For example, if they've pulled out all the tissues, you could say, "They feel so fluffy and fun, don't they? But these are important, so let's just use one at a time." This approach leads to learning. They don't want to leave the park. When you say, "It's time to go home," and they completely ignore you. Every parent has probably experienced this at least once. But actually, this isn't just stubbornness. It's also a matter of brain development. Especially for children under 5, the current moment is their entire world. This makes transitions very difficult for them. In psychology, this is attributed to the immaturity of executive functions, as their prefrontal cortex is still developing. Even if you announce that something fun is coming next, the effect is minimal unless it surpasses their current enjoyment. Children have a vague concept of time, so 5 more minutes doesn't quite click for them. That's why it often helps to frame the transition visually or with specific actions, like, "Let's go home after 3 more slides." Rather than pulling them away forcefully, it's more effective to turn it into a cooperative action, such as, "Shall we put on our shoes together?" Their reluctance to leave is proof that they're having fun. In other words, an emotional outburst can also be a sign of a healthy spirit. Let's embrace it together and turn it into an opportunity for growth. They devour their favorite foods at an incredible speed. Children tend to eat only their favorite foods at such a rapid pace, almost as if they're swallowing them whole, right? Yet, they pay no attention to other dishes, leaving them on the plate like part of the scenery. This is actually a natural part of their developmental stage. Children aged 3 to 6 have delicate and often biased taste buds. They are very sensitive to bitterness, sourness, and differences in texture, and instinctively try to avoid what they dislike. In psychology, this phenomenon is called selective eating, and it's a common behavior in early childhood. Favorite foods create strong memories of safety, deliciousness, and happiness, which naturally draws their concentration. They are particularly attracted to foods that offer immediate satisfaction, such as sweetness or softness. This is because they haven't yet developed the perspective of enduring less favored foods for their nutritional value. As mentioned earlier, children are masters of living in the present. Their intense focus on enjoying the delicious food in front of them is also a sign of growth. Instead of scolding them with "eat everything," positive encouragement like, "After one more bite, let's try some other food," is more effective. Furthermore, offering disliked ingredients alongside their favorite foods can encourage them to try new things little by little. The speed at which they eat their favorite foods is the very energy of their liking. When you consider that even these small preferences reflect a child's earnestness, it becomes quite endearing, doesn't it? They read the same book repeatedly. Sometimes children want to read the same picture book over and over again, to the point where you think, "Not this one again." But this is actually a natural behavior crucial for memory formation and structural organization in the brain. Repeating the same story helps them remember the sequence, development, and conclusion more easily. This aids in forming knowledge frameworks and lays the foundation for logical thinking. It also leads to further development, such as reading with the security of knowing what happens next or memorizing lines. Psychologically, the same picture book also serves as a safe base. By having the same book read to them every night, they gain a sense of attachment and stability. It's also said that becoming familiar with the rhythm of language and the beauty of sounds during this period fosters early reading skills. Repetition has meaning. That's how children learn. Their sustained interest in reading the same book shows astonishing concentration. And rest assured, there is definite growth happening behind those repeated readings. They treasure twigs and leaves. You often see children who pick up twigs and leaves in the park and bring them home, calling them treasures, right? While these might seem useless to adults, they hold a special meaning for children. Children easily project emotions onto objects, forming psychological connections. These are known as transitional objects, symbolizing comfort and self-expression. Furthermore, the experience of finding and choosing something themselves fosters a sense of self-efficacy. It's also a stage in which they build their own unique world through possession. Developing the sense of cherishing important things during this period influences how they handle possessions in the future. That's why it's crucial not to dismiss these items outright with questions like, "Why are you bringing this junk home?" Simply engaging with them, perhaps by suggesting, "Let's give it a name," can deepen their attachment. For children, these found objects are symbols of discovery and adventure, representing psychological growth and the first step in creating their own world. Let's join them and become a child again for a little while. They play while singing alone. Have you ever seen a child playing alone, humming improvised songs? This isn't just cute. It's a sign of brain and emotional development. This seemingly whimsical behavior is actually packed with multiple growth elements, including creativity, emotional regulation, vocabulary, and self-esteem. Ages 3 to 6 are a period of rapid development for the prefrontal cortex, which governs imagination, logic, and emotional control. The act of improvising songs during this time enhances creativity, flexible thinking, and self-expression. For example, a song like "A Bunny Ate Cake in the Sky" demonstrates a sophisticated cognitive function, integrating imagination and reality, similar to creative writing or impromptu presentations for adults. Moreover, singing allows children to express their emotions vocally. In psychology, this is called emotional regulation. For instance, they might soothe themselves with a gentle melody when feeling anxious or lonely, or emphasize joy with an upbeat tune when happy. This is precisely how they process inexpressible inner feelings through sound. They sometimes incorporate stuffed animals or figures into their songs, too. This is an evolved form of pretend play, signaling an emerging understanding of others' perspectives. Improvisational singing requires the ability to combine words. In fact, a 2010 study by Barrett found that children actively involved in musical activities showed faster vocabulary growth. As parents, what we can do is avoid stopping them or making them feel embarrassed. Instead, engage with questions like, "What song is that? It's wonderful. Can you tell me about the story?" By listening and empathizing, children develop the joy of speaking and build confidence. This solo song time is like a training gym for a child's brain and heart. By providing a little space, parents empower children to expand their world and develop expressive abilities. How was that? Those were 6 hidden psychological movements and developmental signs within children's behaviors. We'd love it if you shared your thoughts, insights, or anecdotes about your own child in the comments section. Finally, remember that even seemingly troublesome actions are a child's earnest efforts to understand the world, express themselves, and painstakingly build the person they are, one step at a time. Every action a child takes has meaning. If we can be adults who recognize this and gently stand by their side, children will surely be able to grow freely and naturally into their true selves. May your nurturing dedication today be a source of security for your children and a power for their future. And that, in turn, will incredibly enrich your own life. This is Papa Trivia, currently navigating the challenges of parenting. I'm dedicated to delivering useful parenting tips, various everyday facts, and insights into health, motivation, and psychology, all designed to provide valuable knowledge. I strive to create videos that make you feel like you've learned something good. Your comments, likes, and channel subscriptions are greatly appreciated. Please support me. I've linked recommended videos in the bottom left, so be sure to check them out. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel.